to the Makerverse. Today we're going to be making vegetarian kimchi. I have never made kimchi before, so come along and learn with me. This vegan kimchi recipe comes to us from Korean YouTuber Kimchi, and we'll link her recipe below. The base of our kimchi is Napa cabbage, and we'll start with 1 head, or about 3.5 pounds of cabbage. So you're going to cut your cabbage up into bite-sized squares. The easiest way to do this is to quarter your cabbage and then cut off that very bottom part. Unless you don't want to, some people like it, it's nice and crunchy. I'm not a huge fan. Once it's in 4 sections, cut it into pieces about 1 to 1.5 inches square. Then we want to toss that cabbage with a cup of water and about 6 tablespoons of salt. We can leave that out and covered for 2 hours. Give the cabbage a good stir every 30 minutes or so. Step 2 is the kimchi paste. While your cabbage is cabbaging, you can make the kimchi paste. Right now I'm chopping an onion, garlic, and ginger, but we're going to use that later. It's going to go in the blender, so don't worry about perfect or uniform cuts. In a saucepan, you'll combine 2 tablespoons of glutinous rice flour with 1 cup of vegetable broth. Bring it to a gentle boil and then add about a tablespoon of sugar. You're going to pull that off the heat and let it cool all the way. Once it's totally cooled, put it in a blender, food processor, whatever you got, with your chopped onion, garlic, and ginger, and a 1/3 additional cup of vegetable broth. Blend that until it's a smooth puree. You're going to move your puree to a bowl and add 1 cup of gochugaru. That is Korean chili paste. Stir those all together until it looks nice and uniform. Now, while your puree is cooling down, you can chop the rest of the veggies. We're going to take 1 small daikon and about 1/4 cup of carrots, and we're going to cut those into matchsticks. Then we're going to take about 6 scallions and maybe a large handful of garlic chives and chop those up real thin. When your cabbage has been out for 2 hours, it's time to rinse it. You're going to give it a good rinse off with water, and you're going to squeeze out that extra moisture. You want to wash it a couple of times to get off any dirt that might be left and some of that excess salt. Salt can slow down the fermenting process, so you don't want too much of it left. When your cabbage is washed, your veggies are chopped, and your puree is made, you can just combine everything together. I personally like to combine it with my hands so I can really feel it, but wear gloves because it can get spicy. When everything's combined, you're going to want to put it in an airtight container, and then you get to leave it to ferment. This is where you have to be a little patient. It can ferment in an airtight container in 3 days at room temperature or 2 weeks in the fridge. After that, when you open it up, you're going to want to be looking for bubbles. This tells you that the fermenting has happened, and that's called burping your kimchi. Once it ferments, it's going to be nice and sour and ready to eat. My personal favorite way to eat kimchi is over rice with a fried egg on top. Hope you enjoy. See you next time in the Makerverse.